up here and getting back into the sun from your shady spots. First we wanted to, before we start today, we felt like it was important that we pause for a moment of reverence to offer a land acknowledgement. This is a way of recognizing the indigenous peoples and puppies who lived and cared for this land long before the Capitol was built and who are still here today. It is a moment of truth-telling, and we can't change the past, but we can honor it and commit ourselves to doing better moving forward. It's not just words, it's a reminder of whose land we're standing on right now, the sacrifices made, and the resilience of the tribal nations who remain the heart of Oklahoma. So with that, I want to honor the land in which we stand and hand the microphone to my friend Tiara to give a land acknowledgement.
This land is not silent. It carries the stories of the Wichita and affiliated tribes, the Caddo, and all the nations who were forced here through removal. It carries the voices of ancestors who walked the Trail of Tears, and it holds the living presence of 39 federally recognized tribal nations who still call Oklahoma home. The Capitol itself was built on broken promises, yet today we stand here on a Sunday, something that has never been done before, writing a new story. We begin by acknowledging the first peoples of this land who endured so much so that we could be here today. Their perseverance is our lesson. Their survival is our responsibility to honor. As we send Ryan Walters off, let this acknowledgement remind us that we are not just standing on history, we are standing on resilience, and we are called to carry that forward.
What a great day to be here with you guys. It's a beautiful day, it's hot and windy, and so I'm not going to speak a whole lot other than I just wanted to acknowledge and thank the partners that we have had come out here today. And so we had everything set up over here, but there's no shade over here, so everybody moved over there. So make sure you go over here and talk with these tables, because today is not about what's been happening in the past. Today is about looking forward into the future and moving towards what we want for our public schools instead of spending all of our energy fighting the things we don't want. We've wasted a lot of time doing that. And so that's why I encourage you to go visit with these tables, because I know that so the Oklahoma Rural Schools Coalition, we have a table back here with some people talking about elections and our Make It Count campaign for primary elections. We also had Advance Oklahoma's Kids here talking about their book policy initiative, Better Outcomes for Oklahoma's Kids. I would really encourage every person here to go visit Heather. Heather, where are you? Go visit Heather and learn about this. This is going to be a really cool roadmap for some policy initiatives we want all of you to get behind with us moving forward. And we also have, in the really calm orange shirts over here, Oklahoma Citizens for Education. So please make sure that you go visit with them as well. So also, I want to thank our food trucks for coming. Some of them came all the way from Chandler, so if you guys wouldn't mind, go drop a little cash with them before you bounce. And just have some fun, and we're so glad you're here. And so with that, I would like to welcome my friend, the Honorable Representative Mark McBride, who has been probably one of the only Republicans standing up against Ryan Walters this whole time. And you are loved and appreciated for all that you have done for the last several years of speaking up for our kids and teachers. So I'm going to shut up and let you say a few words to everybody.
Thank you, Erica. Thank y'all for coming. You know, I don't really want to dwell on the past, but this is Ryan's party, so let's all clap that he's gone. You know, it's been a long 2 or 3 years. I just want y'all to know, I tried to work with the man all that time. We never could work on anything. It was all about ego and political theater, which we all know. I'm not telling you anything, but the biggest problem, I think, is that we can't let this happen again. This cannot happen again. We need to hold legislators and everybody in this building behind us here, we've got to hold them accountable, and we can't let them get away. There's some that are running for different offices. They need to be called on the carpet. They need to be asked the questions. They need to answer the questions as to why did you let us have Ryan Walters for so long? Why didn't you want to impeach him? Why didn't you do what McBride is correctly and just given little bits of information? Why did we have a chief of staff at the Department of Ed that was a ghost employee that we now know only showed up 4 times last year? So why did we pay him, $130,000 plus another $50,000 in bonuses? Can you believe that? That was more than I made as a legislator, and that guy didn't do nothing. But anyway, I don't want to say too much because I could go on and on about this. But I'm glad he's gone. I hope that we all show support for the new superintendent. I think he seems to me, I don't know him, but he seems to me that he's got this under control. He's going to have, I would guess, several months of trying to put the pieces back together, hiring back employees, recommunicating with educators and students, and working at getting you on board. But I do want to leave before I introduce Rob and Craig. I do want to say, the state of Oklahoma, we cannot let this happen again. He was elected by the people. That is true. But the people sounded in the legislature, and the governor did not listen. So, Rob Miller, my friend, come on up. I imagine a lot of y'all know Rob. So, and Craig. Craig, where are you? There, come on up, Craig. So, I don't know Craig, other than what I've read. Great guy, wears a cowboy hat, so I kind of like that. So, I'm going to turn it over. I'll turn it over to you, Rob, and thank y'all.
Thank you, Representative McBride. It is fantastic to have all of you out here today, and again, the reason you're here today, the reason I'm here today, the reason Craig's here today, and everyone behind me is on my shirt. Right? It's not about politics or personality, it's about kids and how we do a better job for Oklahoma's children and families. I want to ask a quick question, take us back on memory lane. How many of you remember where you were and what you were doing on June 24, 2014? Yeah, Mr. McVeigh, what were you doing?
I was with our staff at the University of Virginia, and there were 22 Oklahomans there who were watching the primary results as Joy Hoffmeister won over Janet Ruthie and some other guy.
Some other guy who came in second without campaigning, by the way. I was actually on the beach in Destin, Florida, my toes in the sand, and some of you who remember I was a blogger back in the day, I recorded the absolute silliest dance possible. So don't think that I'm going to dance today. I'm not going to rap either. I know, it's a perfect opportunity. But actually, I'll let Craig do the rapping today. I don't want to take all that. But I do want to take us a little bit farther back. Some of you weren't around in February of 1991. So I want to tell a story that reminds me a little bit of the period that we're in right now. I also had my toes in the sand, but they were inside combat boots, and I was in a sandbox called Saudi Arabia. And we were 2 weeks away from the ground invasion into Kuwait. And let me tell you, it was a little bit stressful right then. The air campaign had already started. The weather was horrible. It was rainy. It was cold. We were having skirmishes along the border. So everyone was on high alert. Nobody was sleeping. And I recall we had this large sand table exercise. And what a sand table exercise is in the military is we just kind of set up all the units, and you take it step by step through the operation order to make sure everyone is on the same page. Very, very important. And this sand table was led by General James Myatt, the commanding officer of 1st Marine Division, where I was assigned as an assistant fire sport officer. To give you an idea of General Myatt, think of Nathan Jessup or Jack Nicholson from A Few Good Men, a little thinner. Same demeanor. Didn't smile a whole lot. So I was there just watching as colonels and majors stood in front of the general, gave their briefs, and the general was just grilling them with questions. And rightfully so. This is an important operation. You want to make sure everything's lined up. But it was so stressful. And my buddy, Captain Rick Messer, had the good fortune of presenting to the general that day. And I talked to Rick before, and he was just shaking in the knees. And I said, "You got it, Rick. Just go out there and do it." So he gets up there, and he's presenting part of the fire support plan to the general. General stops him, asks a question, and Rick answered incorrectly. In fact, he answered bad. And everyone out there knew that he had given the wrong answer, including Rick. And the general stopped him, said, "Hold on right there." And everyone paused. The breathing stopped, right? You could hear a pin drop, and we were outside in the desert. And I thought the general was going to be like a human praying mantis and just reach out and separate my buddy's head from his body, and that would be it for him. But that's not what happened. Rick, in a moment of extreme composure, looked at the general and said this: "General, I know you believe that you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant." And everyone went, "What did he just say to the general's going to kill him?" And the general didn't know how to handle it either. And so he looks around. His chief of staff over here was Colonel, had a little smirk on his face, and a couple other people, but nobody was saying anything yet. We were waiting to see how the general responded. So he turns back to Rick and he says, "Come again?" He said, "General, with all due respect, I know you believe that you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant." And he smiled. And at that point, the general went, "Well played, Captain. Well played." And everyone on cue exhaled, right? Isn't that where we've been for the last 2 weeks? Let's do it together. Let's all take a deep breath and exhale. It does. It feels good. We need to exhale. After 33 months of turmoil, chaos, and confusion, we now can breathe. But my message really today is that we can't spend too long at this point. As we've just talked about, we still have an important mission. On that day, the 1st Marine Division mission was to retake Kuwait, which we did. Our mission is to rebuild trust, restore stability, and get the focus back where it needs to be, which is on children and families and educators in this state. So it's not a high-risk military operation, but the stakes are important, right? Because if we fail to lead from this point forward, if we fail to act with clarity and purpose, our kids will suffer. Our state will suffer. We can't afford to do that. So the third date I want to put in your mind and make sure, and one of the tables back here has some material about that, is June 16th, 2026. What you should be able to say, where will you be and what will you be doing on June 16th, 2026? Voting. Absolutely, and bringing your family and your friends. We saw what happened last time when we don't get out and take advantage of our right to vote. And again, this isn't a political event. This is about public education today. I just encourage everyone to vote, because if we do, we can make this change. We can accomplish the mission that we have. So before I hand the mic over to Craig, because I know he's got funny jokes, I'm going to leave you with a joke. And this is literally a dad joke. Genghis Khan was sitting down with his dad when he was in his early 20s. And his dad was grilling him about why it was taking him so long to take China. And Genghis told his dad, he said, Dad, lamenting, he was talking about, it's so big and it's so hard and they're fighting so hard and I just don't know what to do. And his dad looked at him and he said, Genghis, remember what I've told you since you were just a little boy. And Genghis said, I know. My name is Genghis Khan, not Genghis Khanat. I told. So together, we con.
Thank you, Rob. And one more round of applause for my friend Rob Miller. I have to tell you this. Rob Miller and I are not running against each other. I've talked to Rob. We had this conversation very early on. We are both running for the 700,000 public school kids in this state. So I don't have a lot of jokes. Many of you have seen my asses, and I love my asses. But I have to admit that a few years ago, before the Republican primary, I did a truck video. And Representative Rosecrans is here. Representative Fugate is here. And they gave me some ideas for my truck video in response to a lot of other stupid car videos. In the truck video, I got out of my truck and my donkey was asleep right there, and I videoed it, and I said this, and I'm apologizing to all of you, and I'm apologizing to Billy Bob, because I said at that time, I'm giving him a nickname, and his new nickname is Ryan Walters. I know, I'm sorry about that. That was a sad day. But I will tell you, just the other day, we did a little video out at the house, and I apologized, and you could see the joy on Billy Bob's face, right? In that video, if you haven't seen that video, do your socials, go look at it. It's pretty fun. But what's not funny is the state of education over the last 3 years. And so we're going to get past that. But I'm gonna tell you, Rai is gone. And good riddance. But I got to also tell you, I'm sort of going to miss him a little bit. Because yes, Sandra, I'm gonna tell you this. And Sandra Valentine is here, and many of you know her. I know Representative McBride knows her because there's a lot of she has a lot of ability to run down statistics and numbers and that sort of thing. Does a great job. Sandra, thank you for the help you've given me over the years. ACL, Angela Little. Many of you know her from Facebook for a long time. Erica Wright, thank you for organizing this. Thank you for putting it on. Our DJ back there and our sound system, Damon Winborn. So thank you guys all for, and I know we're going to get a song pretty quick, right? Okay, so I'm not going to take a long time, but I do want to run down some things for you that I think are really important. The dark ages are over, right? But are they really? Because Rob stole a little bit of what I want to talk about today on that June day in 2014 when we all celebrated 4 years in the dark ages. We thought that's the worst we could ever experience, right? Many of you remember those days from 2010 to 2014 and how bad they were and how we were reading A View from the Edge and all of those things on social media. And then a few short years later, it returned on steroids. We have to stop that. And the only way we have to stop that is at the ballot box. So many of my friends, Rob will back me on this, many of my friends for the last 10 years in schools said this to me a lot, that they didn't want to be
political, that they wanted to go in their classroom, shut the door, and teach kids. And then they were blamed for indoctrinating them. Damn right I'm indoctrinating them. I want them to do their homework. I want them to speak in full, complete sentences. I want them to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's the indoctrination 99.9% of teachers in this state are doing when they shut that door. Like Rob, but a year earlier maybe, on the south side of these steps. Anyone else there in April of 1990? Anybody remember those days? So you remember a crazy young guy with hair that had a bullhorn? So yeah, that's the first time that I was on these grounds at a rally when we walked around that building, up and down those steps, so that we could get a decent wage as a teacher. The strike in 1990 made me political for the rest of my life. I'm not a politician, but I am going to politic for the kids in this state. I made a solemn promise before God in 1984 that I would do everything in my power for the kids of this state the rest of my life, and I'm not dead yet. So I'm going to keep going. After that, we had another little rally on the south side of the steps. Some of you guys will remember State Question 779. That was going to give teachers a raise in the Constitution. And Oklahomans said no. They wanted the legislature to handle that. I want the legislature to handle that too. I want more money for teachers. I want more money in the classroom. I want more money for paraprofessionals. We are $1.2 billion with a B under the regional average. We can't get out of 50th and stay in last place. Sean Cummings, where are you, Sean? I heard you just the other day. Just the other day, you said something, and I totally believe this, that if you figure for inflation, we are spending $700 per child less than we spent on them 20 years ago. We have to hold the people that office over there accountable. Some of them are here tonight, and they're not the ones that we're worried about. We have them here. We need to go up there and make them accountable. I want to say thank you for letting me speak. I appreciate that. The next few months are going to be critical for you to step over and watch what goes on at Oliver Hodge. Everyone here, Claudia's here. Where's Claudia? Oh, Claudia left, and I wish she wouldn't have left, because she taught me how to advocate as a young teacher, how to advocate for our kids in that building and this building. She is a hero to Oklahoma educators, and I wish she was still here to acknowledge, so that I could acknowledge her. It's teachers like that who influenced Representative Rosecrans, Representative Fugate, and a lot of other legislators. And she took what she gave to me over time, and she made that real. I'm telling you right now, we have to be real with them and with them. And you gotta hold them accountable. Representative McBride, is he still here? So he bailed. But if there was one person that you could lean on to say the truth on that side of the aisle for a long time, it was Representative McBride, and I want to tell him thanks. So thank you all very much for having me.
Okay, we're almost done. I know you guys are hot and sick standing up. A few more minutes. Hang with us. Okay, now we gotta get loud. Oh, come on.
Well, Oklahoma, look at what we did. Remember when we used to say, surely it can't get any worse? And then Ryan Walters said, hold my protein shake. We survived all those years.
of chaos, clownery, and camera-ready culture wars. And we didn't just survive, we organized, we spoke up, and we won. Tell your neighbor thank you for what they did. Parents, teachers, students, librarians, bus drivers, custodians, even the cafeteria ladies who make those life-changing mashed potatoes, we all came together. Because it turns out that Oklahoma kids aren't political pawns. They're the future of this state. We showed up, we wrote letters, made phone calls, and turned outrage into action. Together we pulled off something people said could not be done. We helped send Ryan Walters packing. That man had more press conferences and lesson plans. He declared war on his own teachers, tried to gaslight parents, and turned Oklahoma kids deserve better into our battle cry. They do deserve better, and now we're the ones shaping what comes next. Governor Stitt appointed Lindell Fields as interim superintendent, and we are cautiously optimistic we'll hold him accountable, but we're still going to give him a fair shot. This is bigger than politics. It's about restoring pride in Oklahoma's public schools. Let's thank Lindell Fields for stepping up to stabilize the ship. We've seen what happens when we stay silent. We've seen what happens when we let someone else define our story. But this time, the microphone is in our hands. We are the parents who refuse to back down. We are the teachers who refuse to give up. We are the voters who refuse to forget. We fought misinformation with truth. We fought division with community. We fought despair with hope and with humor. Today, we get to dance on the North Capitol line and say, we did that. This victory isn't the end, it's the beginning. When Oklahomans unite, we are unstoppable. Let's stay loud, stay organized, stay focused on what matters. Safe schools, supported teachers, and an opportunity for every single kid. Let's build a future of creativity, respect, and possibility where every Oklahoma child can dream big, learn freely, and thrive. We're ready to restore pride, stability, and sanity in our schools. So we've got two great candidates. You've heard from both of them. Remember the date? What's the date, guys? Do y'all remember pop quiz time? Some of y'all said June, some of y'all said November. It's okay. June comes first. We got to remember June 16th first, and then November. But together we can. Together we will. Because remember, we just did that.
Thank you guys for hanging out here in the sun and the heat and the wind. And so I'm just going to close again by saying thank you for being here. Please, please, please go visit Heather, go visit Dom and Rosie, find out a little bit more about what you can do to become involved in all of our elections, but particularly the importance of the primary election. We've got to shut it down before it even has a chance to make it to November. So please go learn from Dom and Rosie. I don't know where they are, but they're back there probably at that table for Make It Count. And then go see Heather, because we've got a plan of what we want to see in our public school classrooms for Oklahoma moving forward. And we're going to need all of you to help us get that done. So go see Heather. Make sure you get registered to join our book club that stands for Better Outcomes for Oklahoma's Kids. Thank you for coming. And thank you to our DJ and all of our people that have helped and come out here today. We're so appreciative. Thanks for coming. And now you can go back to the shade. And buy something from the food truck before you leave. Oh, and take a picture. Oh. Yeah, oh yeah. I thought you meant to me take a picture. Go take a picture in front of the Capitol. If you guys have pictures, tag us in them so that we can close to him, all right? Thank you for coming, everyone. You can stay here as long as you like. We'll hang out until the last one's gone. I'm sorry. Hey, look, Aaron Baker's getting ready to play, everybody. Oklahoma teacher's going to give us a live